A new Wordle puzzle is online. Click on the link to play.
Listening to the following video may give you clues. Please like and share the videos.
Symptom burden survey could become new tool for long COVID care. To assess the symptom burden of patients with long COVID, a team of researchers from the University of Birmingham developed a symptom burden questionnaire, which is a structured questionnaire that measures the symptoms of the disease as they are experienced by patients.
The questionnaire will allow patients to report on their symptoms and use it to determine which treatments are most effective. It will also help researchers identify the factors that increase the severity of symptoms.
Symptom Burden Questionnaire for Long COVID. The Symptom Burden Questionnaire for Long COVID, SBQLC, is a novel patient-reported outcome measure that is designed to evaluate symptoms experienced by individuals with this chronic condition.
The questionnaire has been validated with a rush analysis and is designed to measure the breadth of symptoms. The results of this study will help healthcare providers determine the best treatment options for long COVID patients.
The study examined the full range of symptoms in a single survey and is the first to quantify individual symptom trajectories over time. It has also looked at the impact of COVID symptoms on daily tasks.
It is a comprehensive assay that includes symptoms from 10 different organ systems. The results show common patterns of symptoms and time courses over the duration of the disease.
Among the most persistent symptoms are neurological, cognitive and systemic symptoms. The researchers created a multi-domain patient-reported outcome measure called the Symptom Burden Questionnaire, SBQLC.
The SBQLC was validated by 10 clinical experts and field-tested by 274 individuals living with COVID. Researchers worked with people living with long COVID to gather as much information as possible about the symptoms and related factors that impact their quality of life.
Once validated, the SBQLC is intended for use in evaluating the impact of COVID treatments on the lives of people who have COVID. The Symptom Burden Questionnaire for Long COVID was developed by researchers in collaboration with patients affected by the disease.
The questionnaire is an international standard for measuring patient-reported outcomes. It can be used during the diagnosis, active disease, treatment phase, and recovery phase of patients.
It may contain optional subscales. This is a step forward for those suffering from long COVID.
There are many benefits to using the questionnaire for research purposes. A number of symptoms associated with long COVID are listed below.
These symptoms can be chronic or acute. The severity of the acute illness does not influence the long-term development of this syndrome.
Nevertheless, the longer symptoms of the disease, the higher the risk of developing long COVID disease requires ongoing medical care to ensure optimal health and recovery.
The AMA is leading the public health field by developing key prevention strategies to reduce the incidence of COVID. Symptom Burden Survey.
Researchers at the University of Birmingham have developed a symptom burden survey that measures symptoms as patients experience them. The survey is designed to capture patient-reported outcomes prompts.
The results can be used to develop and test treatments for COVID. It also allows clinicians to collect patient-reported outcomes to improve patient care.
If this tool is validated, it could become a new tool for long-term COVID. Categorization is an 8-item self-report questionnaire that has been validated to measure somatic symptom burden.
The questionnaire has excellent psychometric properties and is easy to administer. The SSS-8 enables a pragmatic categorization of somatic symptom burden.
The cutoff points for low, medium, high, and very high somatic symptom burden are 4, 8, and 16, respectively. The questionnaire takes only 1 minute to complete and is highly reliable.
The SSS-8 is a validated self-report measure of somatic symptom burden. It also measures sensitivity to change.
The researchers hope to validate the tool in other populations and countries. However, further testing and development is required to ensure its usefulness.
In addition to a valid self-report symptom burden assessment, the SBQLC could be a useful tool for assessing long-term conditions. SYMTRAK8.
The SYMTRAK-8 symptom burden survey might be a useful new assessment tool for evaluating patients' subjective experiences of chronic conditions. The total score from the SYMTRAK-8 was found to have a strong linear relationship with the Q3 overall HRQOL utility score.
The SYMTRAK8 is comparable to other widely used survey measures such as the HAWK2 and the SYMTRAK23, but showed stronger sensitivity to changes in the overall HRQOL score. In addition, the SYMTRAK8's overall score was related to caregiver reports of symptoms.
The SYMTRAK-8 Symptom Burden Survey is an 8-item questionnaire that combines questions on symptom burden, sleep, cognitive function, and mental health. The total score is comparable with the SYMTRAK-23, a longer, more detailed questionnaire.
Researchers hope to use this symptom burden survey as a new tool for assessing the quality of life of older adults. Currently, the SYMTRAK8 has a good internal reliability, a high test-retest reliability, and sensitivity to change compared to the SYMTRAK23.
Moreover, the SYMTRAK-8 is a patient-reported symptom burden survey and is thus more likely to measure the aggregate effect of symptoms. It is also more sensitive to change than the SYMTRAK-23, which means it is a better tool for monitoring symptom burden.
Lastly, the SYMTRAK8 has a high correlation with the parent scale, which means it is a good approximation of the former. The two scales explain 88% of the variance in the total score.
The significant shared variance among them indicates that both scales are construct valid. Moreover, they have adequate differences among patients.
These results suggest that the SYMTRAK8 is an excellent tool to assess long-term effects of chronic conditions. GSQ-30.
The XQ-30 is a brief psychometrically sound measure of symptom burden. The questionnaire's brevity, ease of administration, scoring, and sensitivity to change after treatment are appealing.
Moreover, it demonstrated good internal consistency of its items and was associated with construct-related measures such as depression, pain, fatigue, and general health. In addition, it explains about 57% of the variance in functional impairment.
The XQ-30 has been evaluated in ongoing IRB-approved clinical trials at NYSBI, Johns Hopkins University, and Partners Healthcare. All participants provided written informed consent.
The NYSPI, Columbia site served as the data coordinating center. Participants completed baseline questionnaires and again 6 months after the intervention.
The changes in the XQ-30 scores were evaluated in the 3 groups separately, using pre-treatment scores as the reference. XQ-30 has been shown to be a valid and reliable self-report instrument to evaluate multi-system symptom burden.
This could become a useful tool in future precision medicine trials. The GSQ-30 can be used to evaluate the efficacy of treatments by identifying the underlying mechanisms of disease and the response to them.
Its low sensitivity may make it an important tool for assessing long-term symptoms. XQ-30 is a simple tool to measure symptom burden.
Although not a diagnostic instrument, it can reveal symptom profiles that differ across disorders. For example, PTLDS and TBI had different scores for the pain, fatigue subscale, while depression and post-treatment Lyme disease had similar scores for the GSQ-30.